The project is very important because it's a kind of technical assistance, and also it's a share knowledge and experience by farmers. Like I'm myself a farmer, and Angela is a farmer, Felipe is a farmer, and we exchange our experience. We exchange what like we have been wrong, and we face like some some challenge, and how we did to work on that. So I think that's really a big value for farmers, so they cannot do the same mistakes as we did, and learn quickly and do the practice more quickly in more efficient way.
Map It Forward Business Mastermind groups are back for 2024. And if past mastermind groups are anything to go by, you absolutely want to be a part of this if you're a business owner ready for change. Spots are limited to 10 people per group. And if you own a business in the coffee sector and are looking for support in a nurturing and focused group coaching environment, this could be the thing that helps you through these challenging times in coffee and jumpstarts your planning for 2025. There are 3 mastermind groups, each with a different business focus. I will be your coach, and the first one will be focused on strategic business planning, the second one on business growth, and the third on increasing your sales in coffee, both B2B and B2C. Groups start the week commencing October 7, and prices start at $189 per month for 3 months. You get a discount if you pay all 3 months in advance. Previous participants found these groups life-changing for their business, and all groups come with a 100% money-back guarantee. If you're interested in finding out more or registering, head to mapitforward.coffee/group coaching or check the links in the show notes for details. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is episode 4 of a 5-part series with returning guest, Murilo Bettarello. Murilo is back. He has been on the podcast before, but Murilo is another one of our trainers for our regenerative coffee farming workshop that we're doing in October, which is phase 1 of a 3-phase project that me and my friends, Murilo being one of them, are doing for this project. So Murilo, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Lee. It's a pleasure to be here again.
The pleasure is all mine, sir. And I have to say the pleasure is also all mine that I get to do this project with you and with Felipe and with Angela and Joam and with Don Carlos. We are looking at, as we've mentioned in previous episodes, this is a project that is focused on our first phase, which is a 2-hour workshop where we are going to do 1 workshop in English, 1 workshop in Spanish, and 1 workshop in Portuguese. And the title of the 2-hour workshop is An Introduction to Regenerative Coffee Farming. And through that, we're going to really lay down the foundation for what regenerative agriculture and regenerative farming is for coffee farmers. Now, tell me why regenerative agriculture is so important now. And you might want to talk about how we're recording this the day after Brazil got rain for the first time in a long time.
That's amazing. I'm very happy because we had like 150 days with no rain, and now raining is come back. Like there's a lot of damage that's already like set, but at least God bless you with some rain. So that's
very
good.
Happy.
Yeah. And like about regenerative agriculture, I think it's simple. We need to do it because otherwise we will not have coffee or other crops. Even so, I'm not just coffee farmer, as you know, but I also crop grains, and I used to think that we have 30 harvests left to try to do something right.
Wait. 30 harvests in total?
Yeah, because if you take a life of a man in the world, it's short.
Yeah.
And then every harvest 1 year. So we have like 20, 30 years to make it right. So if we don't do this in the right way with Mother Nature, with the earth, we will collapse. The food system will collapse, and coffee is part of it. So we need to do regenerative and sustainable ag to keep being able to produce food and to produce coffee. So we are facing a lack of coffee in the world because of the climate change challenge. And if we are not doing, and the ones that do regenerative practice is proving a more resilient crop. It's not just a matter of better yields. It's just a matter of keeping producing coffee for a long time. There's a very famous writer in Brazil, a lady that's called Cora Coralina. Mm-hmm. She said that it's like, happy is the one that teach what he knows and learn what he teaches. So,
I like that.
So it's very good to be in this project with you and Angela and Felipe, because this is also helping me to learn with Angela what she does in Colombia. Like Felipe, I know him, but like it's always good to know. So we are one of the most beneficiaries because we can exchange knowledge, practice, and I hope we can contribute to other farmers as well.
Why is a project like this so important now?
Yeah, I think it's that. It's a matter like there is knowledge in the room. Mm-hmm. There is techniques and so why we don't apply more? There is proven techniques like biochar, microorganisms, organic matter in the soil, agroforest. So there is multiple techniques to make a coffee farmer more resilient and regenerative techniques. We work this in projects that we help, but why this doesn't get scale? I think there is some points like financing, long-term like loans and like green finance. So, but one of the main is knowledge and technical assistance. So this type of things, the project is very important because it's a kind of technical assistance, and also it's a share knowledge and experience by farmers. Like I'm myself a farmer, and Angela is a farmer, Felipe is a farmer, and we exchange our experience. We exchange what like we have been wrong, and we face like some bad some challenge, and how we did to work on that. So I think that's really a big value for farmers, so they cannot do the same mistakes as we did and learn quickly and do the practice more quickly in more efficient way.
You know something, folks, that I have learnt having the privilege of being around these folks to put this project together. And I'm like the smallest part of this project. All I'm doing is running it. Like I'm not the smart person in this room. These guys are all the smart people in this room. I have learnt that farmers are the most generous, open-hearted, and compassionate people alive. Their willingness to do this and give of their time to make sure that this project gets off the ground and to make sure that they are exchanging the kind of information that they can to learn from each other has blown my mind. This project, we have made it as, we wanted to keep the project sponsor free so that nobody gets to own the content and influence what we say. We are going to be talking about all the real stuff that you need to learn about. And as you will see through these workshops, there is stuff that people don't want you to know about. And am I right, Murilo?
Yeah, like there's a lot of things. What I said, usually we left the green revolution. It's very important, and that's like bring us here to sustain like 7 billion people with affordable price in the majority of the countries. But the green revolution will not take us from there to a sustainable future. So it's why we need to work in regenerative. And sometimes when we build our own systems, we produce our own fertilizers, our own microorganisms. This is against the currently industry of chemical system, and there's people that don't want farmer to be independent. So that's what important. Like with knowledge, farmers can be more independent from like industry market fluctuation of fertilizers and so on.
And that is another part of it that has really shocked me, because there are so many solutions that governments and big ag are trying to keep out of accessibility to everyday farmers. And this is an opportunity for people who are doing it in their own farms to be able to educate and exchange information. And I'm also very excited about the WhatsApp groups that we're going to create afterwards, so that the exchange can continue to happen after the first workshop has happened. You know, something that you taught me about through this process is the importance of having your soil tested. So help me understand why it is so important. Well, help everybody that's listening understand why it's so important for everybody as they're considering regenerative ag. Why this isn't this. You have to understand what your own land is, right? The soil is the important first step. Help us understand why.
Yeah, because like soil is the base of everything on agriculture. Like if we produce a healthy soil, we will have healthy plants, and we will have healthy foods, and we will have healthy people. So that's why like everything begins with a healthy soil. So if we have this, and soil, it's not just the chemistry of the soil, it's the physics of the soil, it's the life of the soil. So a plant that have all this balance, they will be less attacked by like the bugs and the plagues and the fungus. So they will be in balance with all the system. So that's what, like in everything, starts with the soil.
You have consulted all over the world in your work. And I mean, you've been pretty much everywhere where there's coffee farms, and you're going to be you're going to be doing the education in both Portuguese and in English. You and Angela are going to be doing it in English. You, Felipe, and João are going to be doing it in Portuguese. How different are the approaches between creating education that's focused for specific origins when it comes to regenerative ag?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's very important. Yeah, what I used to say, that it's a lot of tools regarding to regenerative ags that we are going to talk on these workshops and this training. And a good one of the most important thing of extension is a technical assistant, an agronomist, a technician, is to know what button he can pressure first to give most ROI, most return for the farm.
Right.
And that's pretty much linked to the region. Like, for example, in Brazil, like the coffee is not major, but like half of the coffee mechanization, it's very important because of lack of labor. So maybe we can start to do using a manure, a compost to fertilize the soil and maybe produce microorganisms. In Colombia, for example, shade is very important. Management, shade, have a red species, the use of biochar that can be produced local. So that's something like Angela is having a lot of success on that. And here in Brazil, we are more success on like producing more microorganisms, produce our own compost and fertilizers and that. So there's and all the techniques can be combined, and that's the ideal. There is different scale, but all is like to produce a compost, you can produce in a small scale or like a 2-hectare farms in Kenya, or you can produce for 100-hectare farms in Brazil with machine. But the compost will be pretty much just change volumes and the machines you use, but the final product will be very similar in the end.
Actually, you raise a point that I've wanted to ask you and keep forgetting to ask you in our meetings. I hear a lot of people advocate against regenerative farming because they say it's not scalable. What you just said suggests that it might actually be scalable. Is it scalable?
Yeah, for sure. Like the problem is like technical assistance and knowledge. In Brazil, I belong to a group of farmers, not just coffee farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And this group, we have 3.5 million hectares
Wow.
of farm. It's more than bigger than Portugal, let's say. And we have 3.5 million hectares with some kind of level of regenerative practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you
and
say
this group are
level,
independent. We are not like linked to any, we do partnership, but we are all farmers group. The like the directors are farmers. We are independent. We do independent research and so on.
so you're not what's the opposite of that? What's the opposite of being independent in this context? Is it that you're not subsidized by an association or organization or something like that? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like for example, sometimes in the agriculture industry, the guys go there, they give you the seeds that they want you plant. They give you the fertilizer that they want you plant, they use. They give you the chemicals they want to use, and then you sell to them in the price they want to pay. And you got like a teeny fraction of the margin of the whole business with all the risk and everything. This is the opposite.
So all of us that are doing this project, we're all independent thinkers, we're all big thinkers, and we're all very invested in making sure that the information gets out to as many people as possible. Who are the kind of people that should be coming to a workshop like this, do you think?
I think farmers, most of the guys. I think there's both groups. One is farmers to get the real, like the knowledge from farmers that want to share and want a better world in the end. So I could be there's a lot of things to do in the farm right now after rain. But I'm
I appreciate
here
you being here.
Yeah. And so I think farmers that want to know the experience we have, like along the time. And also another group, I think it's roasters, independent roasters maybe, that want to be more engaged with their supply chain. I think that will be very important. So they could stimulate and work with their supply chain to build some projects like that.
I recorded a series yesterday that will have already come out last week. It's very weird with the timing when this comes out. And it was a series about EUDR. You've heard of EUDR, right?
Yeah.
And I learned some really, really interesting things about EUDR through this conversation with Pedro Manga from Caravella. And it really got me thinking about the role that regenerative farming plays in EUDR and in helping in business, because I'm always trying to make sure that coffee producers, green buyers, roasters always have the path of least resistance to doing good business and straight business with each other. What's the relationship, do you think, that regenerative agriculture, how is it going to impact deforestation?
That's a good question. I think it's separately, okay? I think the most beneficial part of regenerative ag is resilience. To keep producing in a challenging climate, okay? If we're gonna, deforestation is driven by another mechanism, I think. Reforestation is building about like human ganassi to expand lands and sell lands and open lands and be profitable. And also it's stimulated by like there is a lack for Brazil, for example. We have in Brazil 60% of Brazil is forest. 60% of the whole Brazil is still forest. In Europe, 80%.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there is the most preserved part of Brazil, it's Amazon. There's not much coffee there. The main crop that is significant there is livestock, meat, and leather and so on. There's cocoa there. But if nobody pays and give economic new business model for these people, they will live in poverty.
Yeah.
There is 20 million people in Amazon.
20 million?
Yeah. Amazon is 1/3 of Brazil, the Amazon biome. And there's 20 million people living there.
Wow.
So if we don't allow them to produce, we need to pay for the environmental service for them. So the world needs to be together to build funds and new business model that give economic opportunity to these people. Otherwise, they will deforestate to survive. So that is like, I think it's like coming back to Europe. Like there's a big joke in Brazil agribusiness sector here that one of the main exported products from Europe is regulation. That's one of the.
Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah. So Europe, I love export regulation. But for other side, never an environmental regulation that Europe built, never had been adopted to other countries along the time. So I think it's a matter of time that we will have like China, DR,
Australia,
US,
America, all of them. They're waiting to see how Europe does it, right?
Yeah, because they export regulation. They are good on that. But like, so the coffee chain and the agriculture chain will need to adapt. But we also need to work on how we also pay for an environmental protection and service.
Yeah, because this is not... 20 years ago when people started talking about climate change, I thought it was going to be like another 60 years before this stuff really became a thing. It has accelerated very quickly, and it's not like marketing now, is it? You're a farmer. You guys see how it's actually impacting the food supply. This is not a drill, folks. We're not doing this because we're trying to sell tickets for a workshop. We're doing it because it's legitimately like the 11th hour, and this is after the amount of droughts that have been happening this year. Coffee producers need an alternative. They need to find out a new way to do this. My final question for you, Murilo. What do you, as one of the trainers for this, what do you hope people take away from these workshops?
I think they take away the practice we use and adapt to their reality and improve their lives with that. Could be make more money, help improve soils, improve nature, and have a good life for their families.
As we say in Arabic, inshallah, God willing, because inshallah.
Yeah.
You know this one because you worked in Saudi. Inshallah. All right, folks, please consider letting everybody in your network know about these workshops. The links are in the show notes. Go to our website. It's all over our website. This is really a way that if you are not a coffee producer, you can buy a ticket. And so the price for coffee producers is $10. The price for anyone who's not a coffee producer is $150. But there's a built-in pay it forward system in that ticket price. So the $150 pays for your ticket, your $10, and buys a ticket for 14 other coffee producers. So we're doing everything that we can to get as many people in this workshop that need this workshop. And there are millions of coffee producers around the world. I don't want anybody to miss this that wants access to it. So check the show notes and please register and show up to the workshops. Okay. Murilo, will you do us a favor and sign off with peace, love, and peanut butter?
Peace, love, and peanut butter.
Have an amazing rest of your day, everyone. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
I really hope you enjoyed this episode, friends. Please don't forget to show us some love by subscribing, liking, commenting, and most of all, sharing this podcast with your friends. Check the show notes for links, including our sponsors and our Patreon. And stay tuned for more great conversations on the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward.